Hey everyone, welcome to the Electric SuperCar channel. This week we're going to give you a business update. Let's get to it. For today's sponsor, we have an e-bike. Windone is a modern e-bike company that specializes in off-road as well as city riding. This is so cool. I don't know what's the easiest way to get this out. It's like a bowling ball. Look at that, a whole tool set. So you can choose 3 different modes: pedal mode, pedal assist mode, or full electric mode. The range is 28 miles with a 500 watt motor. The charge time is about 6.5 hours. So it does have a horn and front and rear lights. I will say, compared to other e-bikes, this one has more of the feel of, I'll call it a motorcycle. It definitely has that sort of vibe where you feel like you should be wearing a motorcycle helmet, and definitely seems like it would fit in well with an urban environment. Also, the tires are very beefy, so you could take it anywhere off-road. It can climb hills at 30 degrees. So it has a top speed of 28 miles per hour. I've tested that out. It's very accurate. So if you are interested in an e-bike, I will leave a link in the video description below. So I asked my Patreon supporters, would you have any interest in, say, like a business update? They said, yes, we'd like that very much. So I asked them to kind of give me some questions. What do you want to know? Here's some of the things they asked. So Benjamin asks, I think the biggest question is, how are you doing? With the paid projects you're taking on, is this viable for you? So are you breaking even? Are you able to support your family? For those of you who are new, I lost my full-time employment about a year ago. And I was kind of in the corporate world. I worked at a medical device company, and it worked out pretty well for me. So building cars was kind of a passion, but it was a side project. YouTube was also just kind of a side project. And I looked pretty hard for a job for about 7-8 months, and nothing was really coming up. And so I decided, hey, why don't I try and start my own business converting electric cars? Background, yeah, so my previous job, my previous employment, it paid very well. It was able to allow me to have a hobby like this and allowed me to purchase some tools. The side hobby was getting enough, with YouTube and sponsors and things, that I was hopeful to kind of be breaking even with some of my own personal builds, like the Porsche. So that kind of switched, though. If you're trying to make money, spending it on your own builds is not the best idea. So really trying to focus a lot more on the customer builds, which we've got the Nissan 300ZX, and we've also got the MGA. So I'll go through a lot of the finances kind of throughout this, and maybe even use the whiteboard. Yeah, so first let me go through some costs, some increased costs that I'm seeing and doing. So one is I've hired some part-time help. So I have an intern. His name is Braden. And we've done a little interview so you can get to know him a little bit better. So first, let's tell everybody, what is your name?
Braden.
So this is Braden. How old are you?
I'm 23.
23, okay. And what are you doing right now?
I'm studying manufacturing engineering.
How did you come to work here?
I watched your videos. I saw you were starting up a business, and I really just sent an email to see if I could come learn and do it with you. Yeah.
And so out of the thousands of applicants, you were the one that was selected. Okay. What is your favorite band?
My favorite band? I guess it's an artist. I really like Khalid.
What is your biggest irrational fear? Okay, I'll go. Mine is spiders. I just squish them like 10 or 100 times harder than I need to. In my bathroom, I've got like a cup for like drinking water, whatever, brushing teeth. put it upside down so nothing will crawl in. Also, if I'm getting a drink in the middle of the night, I'll like fill up with water and dump it out and then fill it up again. So those are all things that are irrational fears.
I have an irrational fear. Maybe this is rational, but maybe it's irrational. But I save everything like 5 or 6 times before I'm.
Okay.
Like I just.
Like computer files?
Yeah, I just don't believe that it's saved. Like I'm gonna click save 5 times. I'm gonna click save as and save it as something else. Like,
all right.
I just.
All right, that's cool.
Never trust it.
How long you been working here?
A month or 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has been the most surprising thing? Like what was like, oh, I didn't know this was part of it.
The amount of things that are powered by the combustion engine, I guess. You know, there are so many things that you have to change out, like the AC, the heater. Just the amount of changes you have to make to actually convert it to electric is more than I expected.
Yeah. What is something that's as you thought it would be? Like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I thought it'd be.
Designing. I figured it'd be lots of designing. Okay. Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell YouTube?
Like and subscribe.
Next expense is on the YouTube side. With the shop and with customer builds, I can make essentially more money working on customer cars than I can editing videos. So I've done some outsourcing. I still do a lot of my own editing, and I always do all the final editing, but I have outsourced some video editing. And just to give you an idea, each video that I do, the YouTube income or YouTube revenue that I get, I'm gonna say is about $100, maybe $150 on a good video. I will say that most, if not all, that goes to the video editors. So there's not a lot of additional income that comes through YouTube. So you might be thinking, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But for me, editing a video, I would say took me about 20 hours. I kid you not, I know my videos are not that good, but it would take me quite a bit of time to go through, edit the videos. And if I spent 20 hours working on cars, I can make more than $100. So to me, it just made more financial sense, business sense to kind of outsource that. Again, I still do all my final editing, and sometimes I'll do all my editing. So those are expenses. Let's talk about some of the income. So I mentioned the YouTube income. YouTube for me has been a little bit down the last 12 months. Pull up my analytics here. So the last year, last calendar years, last 365 days, 3.1 million views, 307,000 watch hours, 31,000 subscribers, $17,476.13. So the previous year from that was 4.1 million views, 478,000 watch hours, 71,000 subscribers, $22,926.75. So some of that was the Jerry Rig Everything collaboration. So again, we got lots of views, lots of new people coming from that. That has subsided, and now we're kind of just into my stuff. The Porsche started out pretty good. We were able to carry some momentum. That kind of waned a little bit. I was hoping with some new projects, some new builds, that would bring it back up. It's not quite been the case. The numbers, YouTube and things, maybe it's just YouTube in general, views are down, but for me, not quite as good as the previous year. So sponsors though, sponsors have come through quite a bit. So these are the little ads and things that I do personally to try and promote a product or at least show you guys what's out there. I try to pick stuff that I think you guys will like, stuff that's cool for guys or just cool gadgets, car things. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. For me though, it pays pretty well. So I can make 3, 4, 5, 6 times what I will with a regular YouTube video. The sponsors though, they'll have their own analytics. They'll see how many people will click on the links, how many purchases and things they get. So the way that you can help me out is if you actually click on the link, go visit their site, if it's something you're interested in, buy it. Because then they'll know this is a good channel to invest in, a good channel to keep offering these sponsorships. That being said, I am doing something different. I'm no longer doing any dedicated review videos. So the dedicated review videos, those are ones that I've done with Miss Researcher. I try to have a lot of fun with those. However, you, the audience, and YouTube do not like them. So I lose subscribers quite a bit. The views are down like maybe a third of what a normal video would be. And yeah, I just don't feel like it's fair to the sponsor. You guys in YouTube have said, you know, that's not what we're looking for. So it's too bad because it was really lucrative for me. Yeah, it's just not gonna happen going forward. We'll talk about the merch. So for me, merch has just never done very good. I guess I just don't have the brain or the selling power to help promote my merch very well. So the last calendar year, $92.99, and I think some of that was from me, meaning I bought some of my own product. So yeah, just not doing very well. I do have a friend, Ian. He's gonna help me out. He's like, hey, I think I've got something for you. So I've got some new designs I'll show you. If you're interested, go ahead and buy them. It means that we can continue doing this. Otherwise, this is probably another thing that I'll just stop doing. Amazon affiliate. So one of the things I love to do is I actually like to put tools and things in the video description so you guys can know what things I use, what I would recommend. I just think it's cool even if there wasn't any Amazon affiliate. With that being said, the last 12 months, $93.28. Yeah, call it 10 bucks a month. It's kind of what I get. And really that's any time that you click on a link and buy anything from Amazon. Doesn't even have to be what I've suggested. If you click on that and then go buy a bar of soap or something, I still get a small commission from that. So Patreon is great. I can't believe how much I've liked this. So for me, one of the things I like to do is if I've done something, it's like, hey, this is cool. I want to share it with somebody. And so what I'll do is I'll just make a little post on Patreon and say, look, here guys, here's what I'm doing. And so it's really cool to connect with people, give people a little behind the scenes look, early access to videos, things like that. So Patreon's been very good. For me, it's about $180 a month. So again, that is fantastic. It's not enough to pay the mortgage, but it is enough to buy some groceries or maybe pay some bills. So if you're interested in joining our Patreon, I'll leave a link in the description below. Other things as far as the company goes, I am trying to build a website. I've got somebody that's helping me. I'll actually leave a link in the description below so you guys can check it out. It's not like live, but it's just so you can kind of see the design. And if you are a web designer, feel free to contact me and I could definitely use your help. If you've got advice for like what stacks to use, things like that, yeah, let me know. The website will be mostly promoting electric conversions. Again, come see me, I can convert your car. I also offer consulting. So again, I've done this with a couple different people. They say, hey, I don't necessarily need you to take my whole project, but I could definitely use some help in this area, or can you make a suggestion for this? So I've done that, and that's actually been very helpful for me financially as well. So one thing I'm not doing is I'm not selling anything yet, well, other than merch, but I'm not selling any EV components, no motors, controllers, batteries, things like that. I could get into that. I'd probably need different insurance, but that might be another avenue for me. So let me know what you think. There is a company that I've signed up with. It's called Fuel to Electric. That's a website that really connects people, so both customers and builders or companies that offer services. So I'm going to show you some of those builds. I'm actually probably going to create a separate post so that you guys can vote and then we can see the poll results. But I'm going to try and do a proposal on some of those so I can actually get another build. Fuel to Electric has also said, hey, we'd love to have you come be in our SEMA booth. Bring Watson, the blue car. So I think, hey, that would be great. I would love to go to SEMA. I'd love to kind of interact with a lot of people there, and it might be a good way to meet some new customers. With that being said, they're also asking to help cover the costs. So I don't have a ton of money right now. I might have to take out a little loan or something if we want to do it. But let me know what you think. Is that something you think I should do? So overall, how am I doing? How's the family? Compared to where I was, I'll say maybe I'm like at a third of what I was. I'm probably 3 times as happy, but yeah, about a third of what I was. So it's definitely taken a toll financially. So things like haircuts, new shoes, those are things that I'm doing sparingly. So trying to cut some costs here and there. But yeah, back to the original question, is this viable? I think yes. So when I say that, YouTube's got to keep going, sponsors have to keep coming, customers have to keep coming. So that's the big one. I don't have my next customer lined up. I don't have a waiting list or anything like that. So to me, if you ask what my 5-year plan would be or goal would be, I would love to have a small shop. I'd love to have a talented group of people that we could work with and create some amazing builds. So to me, that would be awesome. I've even thought about ways that people could like invest and, so say something like the Porsche. And because again, it's really challenging for me to work on that because that one takes money, the other ones make money. So it's challenging for me to dedicate time and money to that one. But if I had investors that said like, so I could essentially pay myself to work on that one, and then we could sell it and essentially divide up the money between all the investors. Something like that could work really well, and then we could kind of continue some really fun projects if we had a group of investors. I've been trying to kick around some thoughts to see how we can keep things like the Porsche going, because that is the fan favorite. I'd love to keep it going, but definitely doesn't pay any bills. So we'll break this down into a few different categories. All right, so this is kind of for the last 4 months or since the business has been going. Income, this is like shop hours. This is also things like consulting. So that's kind of income. Expense, this is things like shop insurance, paying the intern, as well as like legal fees. So setting up contracts, things like that. You know, if I need a camera, if I need any sort of shop tools. Sponsors, this is not YouTube ad revenue, but revenue that sponsors pay me to put products on YouTube. So sometimes they'll also give me a commission when things are sold, but that's what that is. So YouTube, you may have noticed I said each video makes about $100, $150. That is true. I've not released like 38 videos. So some of this comes from videos I've released a long time ago that are still bringing in money. So that's what that one is, the YouTube ad revenue. This is things that I pay services for. So for like video editing, or if I pay for a thumbnail, things like that. Also, this doesn't take out any taxes. So I definitely need to put aside a large chunk for taxes. So basically, I'll say we're succeeding. I mean, this is enough to kind of cover shop expenses, work on the Porsche a little bit, cover the utility bills, mortgage, things like that. So in general, I would say I can keep this up. That's not the problem. I think my problem is, I'll call it the shop, which is the biggest point of income. I need to line up more builds. So that's got to be my focus. If you guys know somebody that might be interested in a build, send me an email. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hopefully it's a peek inside the business. I've always wondered what it'd be like to be a YouTuber or to start my own business, and now I know. It's definitely not very easy, and it is more than a full-time job. I have definitely worked more hours in the last 6 months than I have probably any time in my life. Definitely a super challenging effort. I hope it pays off in the end, though. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. So has it been 6 months? How long has it been? Come on, dude. February. Let's call it 5 months, maybe?